Joanna Smith here. I just wanted to come in here and just speak a little bit about what has transpired today. Today was one of the last days for some of my interns that came in from high school. I must say that we started Deli Smith STEM in 2020 during the pandemic, and Deli Smith STEM is still alive, kicking, and well, on a mission to expose 500,000 students to science, tech, engineering, and math in the next 5 to 7 years. This program and endeavor of our organization is very important because what I saw over my 10 plus years of experience in engineering was a lack of minorities and people of color in this very lucrative and important field that is changing the trajectory of the world daily. I know that you all just saw what happened with the Key Bridge out in Maryland. Most likely, somebody who's a civil engineer or a geotechnical engineer or a structural designer or someone in CAD and design, building information systems, 3D systems on technology, uh, understanding of different metal structure, foundation, and forces are going to be the persons that are going to fix that type of design and ensure that, due to the factor of safety, whether that might be different forces or the diameter of the pile or the column change, that something like this will never have to happen again. These are life and death programs and projects, and that's why they are so important, and that's why it's so important on my heart that we are able to diversify that field so that we are also creating a connection across generations and across ethnicities in order for everyone to see themselves in such an imperative space. Now, this particular program was one where we had about two people or myself working on staff for 2020 as we started to grow our organization. And now there are 20 people working on staff with us for this particular program. One of the interns today, it was his last day, and I really got emotional because he was working. There are five different branches, I would say, to our program. We have, of course, the one that caters for the K through 12, so music and math, roller skating and mathematics, as well as the STEM camps that we do every summer. Shout out to Brooklyn. This year we'll be having our first leg of our STEM camp there. You all hear a little bit more about that by the end of this week. Um, we have that, and then we're also working with PHI, Pristine Home Improvement, which is more the construction side, where I am doing some major consulting and also working alongside that amazing construction company an improvement company for residential facilities and homes, for kitchens, bathrooms, and just interior design. And also working with Dr. Smith in the Empowering Nursing program, really exposing nurses and also students who are interested in the health field to expertise of 40 plus years, right? So a lot of learning and consulting as well as implementation. And what I saw over these years of working in Germany, in Cancun, Mexico, in the DC area, in the New York City area, was that for all of those 10 plus years that I've been working, it was usually just me and maybe two or three people that were of color that were working in these fields. And it wasn't that we're not, people weren't bright or didn't understand how to do it. It was a lack of exposure. And over 10 plus years, I said to myself, this is really crazy. How can we make a difference? How can we change the trajectory of the statistics, right? And I said to myself, I am going to start an organization that's going to be a grassroots organization, and it's going to be one that's really going to touch the people, and it's going to also improve the lives of other people and and help, especially minorities or people of color, know and understand their abilities in the STEM field. And we're going to do that for K all the way through 12. Now, I was very um, I was very selective. I wanted to be more selective, and I really wanted to work with the K through fifth population only. And I said, no, we're still going to expand our program because what we're doing, we have first graders working with Excel, understanding how functions work, design. We have kindergartners doing models of buildings and entire cities. Our college students or under our high school students are also basically learning how to be entrepreneurs and understanding research design and so many other things, a lot of mentorship through our program. And what really got me through this was as an engineer, we were going to, or got me to this point rather, was that as an engineer, we were going to many different schools, um, and I felt like we were spending maybe 2 hours there, an hour there, maybe once a year. When there was career day or when there was maybe a little project that needed to be done, but it wasn't enough in our communities of the Bronx, in our communities of Brooklyn area. I would hear colleagues say, "Oh, I'm not going there," or "I don't live there." I don't live in the Bronx. I don't live like in Brooklyn. Outside of the gentrified areas. And I said to myself, how in the world are we going to change the trajectory when people of color feel like, oh, they can't swim, right? Water is not for them. Oh, but I'm a certified scuba diver with all of the other engineers from Morgan State University, which is HBCU. Or, oh, I can't, math is not for me, the astronauts, no one looks like me, I don't work for NASA. But yet still, my friends that went to Morgan as well work for Lockheed Martin and Boeing and all these other companies, as well as NASA. My friends have interned there, people that I know, have worked there at one of the major headquarters in Maryland. And so when I saw what was happening, from where I went to school and what I saw versus what was happening outside of that bubble, I really realized that an hour once a year. I realized that 2 hours at a career fair. It just was not enough to change the mindset and the trajectory of students. And so that was one major reason why this organization was started. Now, I have to say that when we started working with our interns for the spring, and they'll be coming on and staying on board with us really for the entire summer, um, we started working with them. It was definitely a lot of kind of, getting the SOPs together, that standard operational procedure for any type of business. That's just the basis of structure, right, for just infrastructure and design of a business. And we also were just understanding each other's communication styles. We used a program called Asana in order to distribute work and be able to check a task. And I felt like that was very helpful as a project management tool. But there was still a lot of different, just everyone working together for the main goal. Wherein all of our programs were concerned, right? We have about 5 different arms as of right now. And, and I was so happy that the program that we're working with was one that did many things. And the 15 hours that were allotted to each student each week, was one that I saw that I was able to, along with my staff, have a hands-on, in-depth approach to science, tech, engineering, and math across the health field, across the construction field, implementation, as well as across the science, technology, engineering, and math field for K through 12. And so we were also working with high school students and college students. The funny part about this is, especially high school students, these were students I knew. I was like, they might not really need that much. I don't know if it really matters if we work alongside them. But I have to say that when my student told me that, working alongside Dr. Smith was one thing that was rewarding for him because he learned so much, and that he was not sure of, if he wanted to be a neurosurgeon or he wanted to be a doctor in a specific field, or he wanted to be a pediatrician, or, he knew he was interested in the health field. But what had me really emotional was just the fact that he said this organization helped him to see where he wants to be, how he can get there, and a lot of information, such as just even small things like his teachers, him going to school on a regular basis, and his teachers telling him, "Hey, your presentation," because I know he had to create a presentation for Dr. Smith. "Your presentations are too wordy," but not giving him the actual skill set or the information as to what he needs to do. And working along Dr. Smith, he was able to get the practical knowledge of how to create something more concise and clear, so that people will be able to understand the information. And now he is super confident, has a very clear path and understanding of what he wants to do because he has worked with us. And it meant so much to me because sometimes you can be toiling and doing so much work and you're wondering, like, does this really matter? Are people being touched by it? Is it really changing lives? And when you do an exit interview with your students and find out, yes, this is changing lives, and yes, this is increasing, it is doing what it set out to do, right? It is increasing the capacity of students of color to be able to thrive in these fields. It is rewarding is an understatement, because this 500,000 that we are reaching to change the trajectory, whether it's in the United States and Trinidad, we've worked with students, also in the Pennsylvania area. I mean, wherever it is, in the Bronx area now, Brooklyn, wherever it is, we are doing something that is impacting the world, not just for now, but for generations. And I'm just so grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for God giving me the vision to go ahead and do it, for giving me the power to create, along with those who have been a part of this journey along the way. Especially just being able to talk about this for Women's History Month by itself is an honor, and just kind of getting back into the women's podcast as well. And I just have to say, there are companies that have worked alongside us to make this happen. There are companies that are listening to this now that are also working to be a part of what we're doing. I would just say get on board, because this the impact that's happening, and that's just one student. There are more that will be coming forth in terms of the speaking portion of this. But I am just so grateful for this opportunity, and for the sponsors that have allowed this to happen, and also that this is something that is mutual. It's a mutual beneficiary type of, I don't want to say agreement, but program where the students are learning, and also as the employer, we are also in a space where we're able to teach, and also gain the tools and share the skill sets, and also the deliverables that are needed as well to continue to keep the company running. So I'm just so grateful for this opportunity, excited about what Daily Spin STEM has to offer. what we are continuing to offer, and just very grateful that we are able to work with students really. Uh, what's that? I'm about to give y'all a number right now. um, okay. So we're able to administer about 120 hours to students, hands on, intricately, deeply for them to know, be aware, and understand how crucial STEM is and know that they are brilliant. And they are also students that thrive in this field because of their capacity to learn, to be diligent, and to be consistent, and to be disciplined in the rigors of science, tech, engineering, and math. Thank you all so much for listening. This was very much on my heart today, and I just wanted to share with you where we are. We'll be in Brooklyn January 1st to the 19th. So look out for that dates. Dates are here. Location is coming soon. And we'll be working with students K through 12 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Uh, this time we'll be doing the Electric City in the Brooklyn area. There'll be a project where students are using drones, using design, and different type of programming to create a city that is functional. They'll also be learning electrical engineering skills and also design skills for landscape and urban design and planning. So look out for it, and we will see you soon. Bye.